What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Surf and Turf podcast. I'm Uneven Shrimp.
You totally almost said the Uneven Shrimp podcast. I know you almost did.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm your boy Chicken.
Yeah, and this is Surf and Turf podcast, like I said. Um, we'll probably talk to each other by our names on here. So I'm Jimmy, and that's Austin. Um, and yeah, we're back. We took just a little bit of a break, right, Chicken?
Yeah, a little bit of a break.
When's the last time we even uploaded?
Let me look right now. The last time it looks like I cut an audio for this was back in September of 20. It was September 13th of 2020.
So we've been
So
gone
like
for over a
almost a
year.
year. Dang, that's
Dang.
crazy.
Well, we're back and we now have video. We're going to be out. So if you're listening to this on audio, you can also find the video version on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to listen to audio, it will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, right?
Yeah, Spotify. It's on pretty much every major podcasting place. I don't think it's
Gotcha.
on like iHeartRadio, but like who
We're
listens
not
to
that
iHeart?
famous yet.
No. No,
Uh,
it's just like Spotify and like Google Podcasts. I think Google has a podcast.
and
I think.
then
Anyway.
like SoundCloud. But either way, we don't need to talk about that too much. But yeah, so what have you been up to, Chicken?
Um do a lot, man. It definitely a eventful year between COVID, being a husband. Actually, that really hasn't changed much.
Yeah, not in this past year.
But as you can see, I haven't been streaming for a long time, but you can tell that I'm definitely in a different background. I did buy a house at the beginning of June 1st, actually, to be honest. And that's part of the reason why I haven't been streaming, because if you have a house, you understand having a house is not easy. It's a lot of work, man. You do countless things. Like I feel like every weekend I'm doing something different, or like if I'm not doing something, I could be doing something. There's a lot of times where I just don't feel like it, and it's like, yeah, like I could be doing something, but do I really want to?
Yeah.
I could easily be doing something from my house like every single day of the week.
Yeah, then there's those times where you're like you were gonna stream or we were gonna record a podcast or something, or we were just gonna play and hang out, and like your heat stopped working, or there was,
Oh my
or
gosh.
your washing machine broke or whatever. So
Yeah, what was the last time I was like, and I've just had like so much like family and stuff. Like
yeah,
my family has been visiting a lot, and it's like I don't want to, but like in my mentality, excuse me, in my mentality of streaming, I don't want to stream like once
hmm,
and then the week after be like, "Oh, sorry guys, like I can't stream this week." I don't want to just like come at it and stream like whenever. Like I want to have like pretty, I don't want to say a set schedule, but I want to come
but you want to be
back.
consistent.
Yeah, that's a word I'm trying to look
Yeah,
for. I want to be, like you said, consistent. I don't want
yeah,
to like
yeah. Like when I came back to streaming, I was gonna stream like 3 times a week or 2 times a week and a possible third. But I got busy on Thursday, so I had to. I'm not doing Thursdays anymore, and then things will come up on Tuesdays. And it's like, oh, I can't stream now, and I had missed like two in a row, and I was gonna have to miss last Tuesday, and I was like, you know what, we're not gonna miss it. We're not gonna miss this one. So I went on a Monday instead. But it is difficult being an adult and trying to keep now that real life is back in a little bit of a swing. It's kind of difficult to keep that inconsistency. Like we have something at church pretty much every night of the week that's like I don't got time to stream. So other than moving into a house, what else is new?
yeah. So another thing that is different is I actually started a new job, which most people probably don't think of it as anything like too big. But for me, it's a little different because I am like, I was when COVID started, I was working from home and or no, not when COVID started, I was working from home and I didn't really have a lot of obligations. I didn't have a lot of just anything really going on. Nobody did. I mean, it was COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had like all this free time to stream and I wasn't driving to work. I wasn't, going into work. I didn't have to drive home. Like, yeah, it's not like I live terribly far away from my work, but that's a big
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
I didn't have to wake up and get ready for work, like, and
Mhm.
eat breakfast. Like, I could pretty much just
Didn't
get
have to
up,
pack a lunch
start.
or.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have to do a lot of things to like make it so I have to wake up in the morning and like do that. I pretty
Mhm.
much would get up and start working,
Yeah.
and then like I'd eat breakfast like an hour into working. I didn't have to make lunch. I didn't have to get ready for work. I could just wear whatever I wanted,
Yeah.
and I had so much more time. And then at the beginning of June of this year, at the same time I bought the house actually, I started a new job where I'm required to pretty much go in every day now.
Hmm.
I can work from home like once every blue moon. I work from home, but for the most part, I work at the site at my
Nice.
job site.
Nice. I,
So
as you were.
that's definitely
Oh, what was that?
sorry. That's definitely been a reason, a different change.
Yeah. Yeah. Something I know I thought of while we were talking. The last time we ended our podcast, last time we recorded a podcast, I wasn't streaming yet.
Oh
I
yeah,
talked about taking a break earlier, but I wasn't even streaming the last time we took a podcast, started a podcast.
that is
So
true. Yeah.
that's one of the reasons we stopped recording the podcast originally. Was we were both getting into content creation, working on getting into content creation. I was hoping to start some YouTube, never really did. Chicken was working on some YouTube. We were trying to get other content out and content that took more editing, and so we were like, well, we don't really have time for the podcast. So the podcast took a back seat for a while, but we kind of were like, you know what? Let's get it going again. So it probably won't be like every week, but whenever we get time to record one, we're going to try to do one every other week, I think. But
Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, if we'll be giving you updated. So yeah, and the new direction of the podcast, we're gonna want to get some guests on eventually. Some of your favorite streamers in our community. Not we're not gonna get like Ninja or anything, but yo, your boys just joined Phase or 100 Thieves real quick.
I don't
Um,
know, man. Maybe we will.
but yeah, so we hope to have some guests on, talk to them. And we're also working on. You probably noticed these are a little bit longer. We're going to try to do a little bit more longer content and really push our podcast out on TikTok, so and YouTube. So the YouTube channel will probably just be the Surf and Turf podcast. Um,
Yes, probably. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So I was gonna say link in description, but we would have to. You would be on the YouTube channel already. But and then I think we're gonna be putting TikToks out on both of our channels. So I'm just Uneven Shrimp. I think TTV, and then you're just Chicken, right?
I think I'm
Chick
chicken TTV too.
Chick3n3 TTV. So
Yeah, yeah.
check us out there. But so that's a little bit of where it's going. We're playing around with the idea of eventually maybe moving it to Twitch as well, doing a little bit live stuff. So yeah. So do you have anything else to start us off before we get into some like stories, Chicken?
I don't think
All
that's
right.
everything. I think that's everything. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
maybe I'm missing something.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not
we can
missing
throw
something.
it
I'm
in.
probably not missing something. Let's be honest.
All right. So you had some stories you told me we had to wait for the podcast for.
Yes, I did. But yeah, I had some. Oh my gosh, like back to being like a homeowner. It's literally just like I if anybody is listening that owns a home, they completely understand what I'm talking about. It's mostly men. I mean, women. It's not that I don't say women have these feelings or emotions, but like a man usually struggles with anxiety and worry about like stuff, like things, like possessions. Like I can't say I ever like worry or like anxious about like myself. And like I don't know if that's like true to you, Jimmy. Like I'm
Hmm.
never like worried about like, oh, do I look nice enough, or like am
Yeah.
like I am I presentable enough, or like I worry, and usually it's not like personal stuff. Like like I worry about my wife, like definitely I worry about my friends every once in a while. But like most of the things that I worry about are physical items, physical things I can hold, like this Xbox controller. Like I worry about it sometimes.
Really?
I no,
You
I
were?
don't. It was no, not like dang.
No,
I
I
do worry
got you.
about
Yeah,
I
I know
do
my a
worry
lot of my
about my
work.
Xbox controller.
Mine's a little bit different. My worry and anxiety is normally like what people think about me, or
Oh,
like
so maybe
am I doing a good enough job at this? Not like about like my
sure.
looks or anything, but like did I treat that person right? Do I need like is that person mad at me, like, or whatever? Like my a lot of my words are more like relational. Like, am I doing a good enough job or a good enough job at my job? Am I working hard enough? Am I uh so what should I have done better type thing? Is what I a lot of times I
Yeah,
worry
okay.
about.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have gave it like gender roles.
Oh,
I
you're good.
mean, but I see where you're coming from. Sometimes I do worry about that too. So maybe I am wrong. Typically what I worry about and am anxious
Mhm.
about is physical stuff. Physical stuff I can hold,
Mhm.
and like my property, like things that like, and like this I know I'm not supposed to think this way. Things that have a monetary value of mine
Mhm.
is like what I worry about. Like, I worry about my house, I worry about my cars, like I worry about my money in the bank, like, and it's not like I'm like sitting like awake at night, like I wake up and like 1 in the morning, my wife looks at me, I'm just like in like oh, I'm so worried. Oh no, like what, oh no, where's my money at? Like no. It's like if I worry about things, like sometimes like it just strikes me. And I think it was like a couple weeks ago, and I didn't actually, I played this off very well. I thought like I would have worried a lot about it a lot more. But I live in an HOA community, and I have a townhome, and it's not like a typical townhome. It's a little different of a townhome of what you'd think of a townhome.
Mhm.
But in my block, there's 4 houses, 4 homes in our row,
Mhm.
and they're changing the roofs on a lot of the houses. Not ours this summer. Ours is actually pretty well. They're changing some of the other roofs. I think ours gets changed next year.
Okay.
But they have these construction workers in here changing the roofs of the other, blocks that are getting changed. And there's probably like I'd say like 40 or 50 blocks in my community. Like,
Mhm.
it's a good amount of homes. Um so these guys are changing all the, and they're bringing all their equipment in, and it's all on the roads and stuff, and like in our streets, and it's like like it's a pain in the butt, but like whatever. So one day we put our trash cans out, like, on trash day. Monday night we put our trash cans out. Tuesday night we take them in, whatever. Tuesday
Mhm.
morning we put them out. Usually we put them out Monday night, because you never know when they're gonna come. They could come at 5 in the morning. They could come at 9 in the morning. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's whenever they come pretty much. But I remember putting them out Monday night, and then when we got home on Tuesday, our recycling bin was just gone.
Oh.
And like we have like they're like a typical dumpster, what you'd think, has the 2 wheels in the back, you pull it down, you wheel it.
Mhm.
Like that's what both of ours are, our recycling bin and our trash bin. And our recycling bin was just gone. And I was like, "What in the dickens? Where is our recycling bin at?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little worried at first. I was like, "What the heck happened to our recycling bin?" and like our neighbor, funny enough, is like the head of the HOA.
Okay.
So we're like, if someone's gonna know, he's gonna know, because our trash is paid through the HOA. Like, we don't actually pay our trash company; we pay our HOA monthly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how we get our trash. And my wife goes over and knocks, and his wife answers, and she was like, "Oh, like that's so strange. Like, what the heck? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of." And she was like, "Just call the company. They'll probably send you a new one, or they will send you a new one if maybe yours broke. Maybe when they were trying to unload it, like it broke or something, or like the lid broke off, so they just threw it away, and we're gonna bring you a new one." I was like, "That makes sense."
Mm-hmm.
But the funny part of this story is I remember I was like, wait a second. We have a Ring doorbell. I'm going to watch the Ring
Oh.
doorbell to see when this dumpster disappears. And if you have a Ring, you know that it only records if it senses something in its view. It'll only take like snippets throughout the day. Like, it'll take like a couple pictures every 10 minutes. I think it takes like 10 or so pictures every hour. Like, it takes them like every 3 or 4 minutes. I watched the Ring, and all you see is I remember the time exactly. From 1:30, you see the trash can there, and then it zooms over to 1:33 and it's gone.
It didn't pick up like any it was too far out that it didn't pick up
I
like
think
motion.
it was too far away to pick up any movement. But I just remember watching it. You just go one picture to the next. It's there, and then it's gone. And I'm like, what? Like, where is it? Like, where did it go in 3 minutes? Like, in 3 minutes.
Did you look back and see this? Did the trash already come?
Oh, yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, our trash has well gone by
Okay,
that
so
point.
it wasn't like the trash people took it.
Oh, no. It wasn't the trash people. But I'm thinking in my mind, in 3 minutes, how are you going to steal a recycling bin? Like, what is going to happen in 3 minutes that you are literally going to take a recycling bin away from
Yeah.
where it is?
Yeah. It's Swag. Swag's playing a prank on you.
Like, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Someone just took our recycling bin to play
They
a prank
timed it
on.
perfectly too. Because there's
Yeah,
no
like,
way of
it was,
knowing that.
oh, no.
Yeah.
And, like, I still to this day have no idea what happened. Surprisingly enough, it returned, like, 2 or 3 days later, just, like, in the spot it was. Like, it magically just, like, reappeared. Like, I don't know if it just, like...
Did you go back and look at the ring to see it reappear?
Oh, I didn't. I should go look at that.
Yeah.
I think I can go back a couple days. Or I can go back in, like, weeks, I think.
Okay,
I
you
should
have to
go
check.
back and
You
look
have to
at
check
that.
that out.
I didn't even think of that.
But yeah,
I should go back and look at that.
yeah, that'd
Oh
be
my
funny.
God.
That's
I'll have
good.
to do that. But magically appeared like 2 or 3 days later, and I was like, whatever.
That's funny.
It's so weird, dude.
Yeah. So, what have you been playing recently?
Man, that's the thing with video games. That's the thing with like owning a house
Yeah.
again. Like, it's not that I don't have time for video games. It's just like, I don't know. I think like right now, and I've said this for a while, like right now we're in such a stale environment for video games. Like, video games are
Hmm.
so stale right now. Like, there's nothing like when I think of the last like 3 or 4 years of video games, like I think of like Fortnite,
Hmm.
Apex Legends,
Hmm.
what are some other big?
Call of Duty,
Not even
Warzone.
Warzone. Okay, I might
Yeah.
throw Warzone in there. Among Us.
Fall Guys.
Yeah, Fall Guys. I might throw Fall Guys in there. I'm just like looking at my like Steam real quick. There's just like so many games that came out like in the last 4 years that like were so detrimental, and like Rocket League went free. I mean, that's even like a good
Yeah.
one.
Hmm.
Um, and like all these games, and now it's just like there's nothing. Like, there was a big hype around like that Splitgate for like a week. I never. We played it for what? We probably played it for like 2 or 3 days and then stopped.
Yeah.
But really, like, there's no other game.
Yeah.
Like we're such a stale point.
Yeah.
I mean,
When that Knockout City was free to play, there was hype around that for like
yeah, there was hype around
3
that
days.
Knockout City. I played that for pretty much since it was,
The whole
since
time it was
it
free.
had to
Yeah.
pay for it. Yeah. Um, there's just hasn't been much.
Yeah. Um.
Oh,
Well.
Valorant. That's another one that came out
Yeah.
of the blue. Valorant was really big. I
Um.
remember, dude. I remember just having Twitch streams up all the time to see if I could get a Valorant key. Like, oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah. Yeah. That's right. Because you had to get it from someone, right?
You had to get it from watching it on Twitch,
That's
and it
pretty.
was like
That's a.
random
I like
keys.
that.
It was like they gave random keys out to people, and you had to get it from unless you were like a content you had to be a big content creator.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ah, I forgot about that. But yeah, there just hasn't been a lot out, dude. I just
Yeah. I've
been
been
stale for a while.
I've been playing my Switch a lot, honestly. I mean, I was playing a lot of
Yeah.
MLB The Show and 2K for a while, but I got Pokemon Sword, and that has like that's all I pretty much play. That
I yeah.
yeah.
Pokemon Sword's a good game. I've been playing some Pokemon Unite a little bit,
Mhm.
and that's probably one of the games I've played the most on the Switch.
Yeah.
Um,
I've really dived into Pokemon the last like month or so, which is kind of weird because I was like I like back in like the end of July, early August. I was like, you know what? I should like start streaming Pokemon stuff. Like my first Pokemon game I ever played, first off for some context, is Pokemon Go. I got really into Pokemon Go, and then I played Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, beat that, um, and now I was like, you know, I should get another Pokemon game. I should get into some cards. I should. I even thought about streaming Pokemon Go while I was on vacation, but I didn't even play Pokemon Go. But like I was thinking about that, and then Chicken was like, I think I want to do some more Pokemon content, and I was like, well, that's weird. I was like just thinking about that, and then like no nothing really came from it, and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to buy some Pokemon cards. Like the day I thought about that, um, Chicken was like, "Yo, I just bought some Pokemon cards," and I was like, "What in the world?" So I ended up going and buying some. I went bought Pokemon Sword, so I've been really diving into Pokemon Sword, cards, and Pokemon Go. You said you've been playing a little bit of Pokemon Unite.
I've been playing some Pokemon Unite. I've been buying some Pokemon cards too. I've been really enjoying Pokemon as well.
Yeah,
Um, and I want the new Pokemon or the remake Pokemon to come out. I'm really excited for that.
Diamond
That's
and
gonna be
Pearl.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Is it? I
I'm
don't
gonna get that when that comes out for
I
sure.
don't remember. Is it Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl
You're talking to a new Pokemon fan, my guy.
and Shining Pearl? Oh my gosh, I was right.
Hey, there you go.
I'm actually kind of surprised. Yeah, this is fun fact. I had Pearl for the DS.
Okay.
Pearl was the very first game that I ever completed the entire Pokedex for.
Oh, really? Oh, you finished the whole Pokedex?
Yeah, that was the only. I think that's the only game that I've ever completed the Pokedex for.
That's awesome.
And dude, it was awesome. I loved Pokemon Sword and Shield. I really
Yeah.
thought, dude, I thought Pokemon Sword and Shield were the best game ever.
Yeah, they were good.
Or yeah, I thought Pokemon Sword and Shield were very good. And another thing, I absolutely, I don't want to say absolutely. I really loved, why can't I think? I loved Let's Go Eevee because I
Hmm.
thought that was such a cool concept. Like
Hmm.
I thought them just like having that concept where you can, jump or not jump around, where you actually go in and like catch the Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like
you
I thought that
throw
was
it.
so cool.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like honestly, the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I liked that, and the fact that you could link it with your Pokemon or Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that was cool.
No,
But
I really like Pokemon Go. Or not yeah. I really like Pokemon Eevee, and I thought, being able to link it with Pokemon Go was the coolest thing ever. And I've been playing Pokemon Go for a long time now, and I love Pokemon Go too. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
what just happened?
Maybe just turn your camera off and back on. There we go. There you are.
Sorry about that, guys. Um,
Yeah, Pokemon
so,
Go, dude. I
yeah.
love Pokemon Go.
What I was about to say was funny story about Pokemon Go is I've said this. I think I said this on my stream the other day, and I talked about it before. But a couple years ago, probably like 2018, early 2019, somewhere like that. Um, my dad lived, I was living with my parents, and my dad's a pastor, and so he lived in a parsonage next to the church. And the church had a basketball gym in it. And whenever they weren't using it, like I could go over and play basketball. So one day Austin came over, we went over to play basketball. Well, the church also happened to be a Poke Gym, and I had some friends that got me into Pokemon Go again, and so I started playing it again, even though it was like 3 years old at this point. And so I went over and was like, "All right, I'm gonna play." Well, at one point I sit down on the stage in the gym, and I just started playing Pokemon. And Chick was like, "Yo, you gonna come over and shoot hoops?" I'm like, "Hold on, let me fight this gym real quick." And he was like, "Wait, are you playing Pokemon Go?" And he started making fun of me. And then he ended up re-downloading it. I think he's been playing. You've been playing pretty consistently since then, right?
Uh,
I fell off for a while after that.
yes,
Yeah,
I play it very consistently.
yeah,
It's probably the most consistent game that I play. I would honestly say that I play more Pokemon Go than I play any other game. It's the thing that I like about Pokemon Go the most is that they constantly are updating it. There's constant
yeah.
updates. There's
Mhm,
always an update for it.
mhm.
And I think that shows the vastness of just what they have, and what their capabilities are.
Yeah,
And like there's always new events in Pokemon Go. There's always something new going on. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like Pokemon Go. I'd say I would honestly say that Pokemon Go is probably one of my favorite games. Easily.
yeah,
Easily right now, Pokemon Go is probably my favorite game.
yeah.
And like Jimmy said, I played it for a long time, and then I just like when it first came out, I was playing it all the time, like every
I mean,
day.
who wasn't?
Oh yeah, really? Like everyone was playing it. Like I remember like every day I worked at a gas station, and we would get off work and we would literally just play Pokemon Go. Like I would get off at 10 o'clock and we would walk. It was that summer. I would
Hmm.
get off at 10 o'clock and we would go walk around and just
Yeah,
pretty much just play Pokemon Go.
yeah. The camp I worked at, there was a Pokestop, one Pokestop you could reach from the very corner of camp, and we figured out that if you walk this loop twice, it would hatch an egg, a 2K egg. And
Right.
so what we would do is we would go to the very edge, stand there, we'd all spin the Pokestop, and then we'd go for a walk and we catch Pokemon along our way. And like we did this on weekends and then like during conferencing when we didn't have kids or whatever. And that's
Yeah.
just all we would do. Whenever,
And
literally, whenever we had the Pokestop was kind of near a cabin. So whenever we
yeah.
were told we had like we could go back to the cabin, we had free time. You would see us all just walk to the Pokestop.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Everybody was playing it that summer, and
Yeah, it
and
really was everywhere.
I played it all the time, and then I just stopped, and then I think I downloaded it again close to when they released the third generation,
Okay.
or maybe it was the second gen. I think I downloaded it again when they released the second generation of Pokemon, and then I think I downloaded it again when I was talking to you about it.
Yeah.
And then I downloaded it when my wife and I moved to where we currently are because we were just like we were homebodies, and I was like, you know, what can I do to get active? And I remember like what the most active time of my life was probably when I was playing Pokemon Go. That's literally we would go out and walk miles, like miles we would walk playing this dumb game catching stupid made up animals.
Trying to hatch her eggs.
Yeah, and just because at the beginning, like Pokemon were so rare. Like I remember,
Yeah.
like Pikachu and like all the starters, like Bulbasaur, Squirtle,
I remember catching an
Charmander.
Eevee was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, like having like some of those Pokemon were so rare, and now it's like I have a billion of those. But yeah, like I remember back then it was so rare to have those Pokemon.
Yeah, I have so many Pikachus with different hats. It's kind
Oh
of
yeah, and
ridiculous.
now they're like get these out of my inventory.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I one of the things that got me back into it was the fact that like during COVID that they made it more uh made it easier to play like if you couldn't go out, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
you were
yeah.
still able to like the battling, the remote raids, all that stuff. I thought was a
Yeah.
really cool concept. But
Yeah,
I
no,
don't. I need a. There's not like any poke gyms like walking distance from
yeah.
me or like a lot. So often I find myself just kind of like driving to like a parking lot that has one.
Just driving. Just driving somewhere.
Yeah,
Why not?
going to like a poke or like a parking lot that's got a gym. Like
Oh,
last night I was going in, I was gonna run into. I ended up parking. I didn't tell you this. So I went to GameStop last night. I was on Discord talking to Austin, and um, I ended up parking like 4 or 5 stores down from
oh,
GameStop because that's where I could reach the gym.
oh my gosh.
And then I
And
walked.
uh,
I didn't want to move my car, so then I walked like. But I parked right there so I could fight the gym and then come back and spin again.
that's kind of funny, actually. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you catch
That's
yourself doing
bad.
anything random like that?
I mean, yeah, when the game first came out, but when we moved up here, we were in like a community, like we lived in an
Yeah.
apartment complex, and it was like we didn't have to do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, when the game first came out, like we were doing mad stupid stuff. Like, I mean, people were driving and playing the game all the time. Like that was so common when the
Yeah, and
game
now if
first
you
came out.
go so fast, it's like you're going too fast. Then you just click, I'm a passenger.
Yeah, well, I think when the game first came out, it didn't have well,
Oh, it didn't have that.
it didn't have that, but like when the game first came out, you could drive and it would still track your miles. Now, if you go over a certain miles per hour, it won't track them. Like it stops.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, yeah, that's probably for the best. But man, we did some stupid stuff. I got arrested one time playing Pokemon Go. Like
Arrested?
some stupid stuff.
Dang.
Okay, wait. No, I didn't get arrested. I got pulled over.
Well, we got a clickbait.
Yeah, dude, you got a clickbait. No, I got pulled over because I was playing Pokemon Go. I remember it.
How
I
long ago was
remember it.
this?
What?
How long ago was this?
It was literally when the game first came out. When the game first came out,
Dang.
like you could drive and like fine. And I remember it was like 10:30 at night. I just got off work, and I think we might have walked around for a little bit, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna go home. Like I'm tired. Like I want to. So I started driving back home, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna drive and keep this up. Like everyone's doing it. Well, why not me?
Yeah.
I did, and I remember like just driving really slow. I probably looked mad sketchy, and I remember seeing a Bulbasaur pop up on like my thing, and
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I gotta pull over and get this Bulbasaur. Like I have to pull over and catch this Bulbasaur. And right before I pulled over, like I saw lights flashing, and I was like, what in the dickens? So I pull over quick, and then like this cop pulls up right next to me, and it was a woman, and she's like, hey. And I was like, it kind of startled me. And I jumped and I was like, yes. I was like, is everything okay, officer? She's like, yeah. Are you good? Like, I saw you driving really slow. Like, is everything okay? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And like, I probably sounded mad sketchy. And she was just like, oh, okay. And then she just drove away.
Just
And
trying to
I was
catch
like, okay, okay,
trying to
I
catch this
can never do
Pokemon.
this again. Yeah. Like I didn't want to straight be like, oh hey, I'm just catching Pokemon. Sorry, ma'am. But I almost was like, oh yeah, I'm just catching Pokemon. Don't worry about it. Don't
You
worry
play
about it,
Pokemon
ma'am.
Go? There's a Bulbasaur right here.
I was like, ma'am, there's a Bulbasaur right here. I gotta catch this, okay? So you
Yeah.
can leave.
My friend,
Uh
my friend that got me into playing Pokemon again, him and his now wife, he lived like in town, and so we used to go over to his house, and we used to
yeah.
go for walks and catch Pokemon and go to gyms and stuff. But he used to we when we would drive to like he worked at a movie theater, so we'd all go to the movies every once in a while. Um, and when we would go with him, he would take back roads and go really slow, and he would like stop at churches to get to gyms and all that stuff. I mentioned that to Chicken yesterday, and then he was like, "Yeah, I got pulled over one time," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then
And
I was like, he was like, "Yeah, that's one of the stories I've been saving for the podcast." And we were like, "We need to record like now."
yeah.
I've been waiting to hear the rest of that story.
Actually, it's weird because I thought about this too last night. Pretty much the only times I've had encounters with cops is when I was playing Pokemon Go. Like
Really?
that's almost exclusively the only times I've had encounters with cops. Like the other time I had an encounter with a cop is because we were playing Pokemon Go, but we were also skating.
Okay.
My roommate and I in college, we were playing Pokemon Go. This was like a couple years later when I kind of got back into it for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And we were skating around our college campus, and and we were just like skating around, and probably in areas we shouldn't have been skating, but whatever. You live, you learn. Um, and I remember like we were skating in this one spot, and this like cop came up and he was like, "Hey, like you guys gotta go," and I was like, "Oh, whatever. Okay, let's go." And so we started heading back and we started leaving, and I remember him like yelling at us again, and he was like, "Hey!" And we like turned around, and he was like, "Yeah, you with your shirt off." I don't know why my roommate had his shirt off, but my roommate had his shirt off, and he's like, "Hey, you with your shirt off?" And my roommate's like, "Yeah, like what's up?" And he's like, "Come over here." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, like skating.
Yeah.
What's wrong?" And and we walk up to him, and he's like, "Let me see your ID." And like my roommate was like, "Can I ask what this is in regards to?" He's like, "Just let me see your ID, man." And like my roommate was the person that was like, he was not it's not that he didn't like cops. He was very much a I know my rights, and
Mhm.
you have to tell me why you want to see my ID. Like you owe me this.
Mhm.
And he was like, can you please tell me why you want to see my ID? Like I'll give it to you. Just like please, like what is this in regards to? Can you please tell me? It's like he's like, just give me your ID. Like he like consistently kept like asking, like, just give me your ID. Just give me your ID. Just give me your ID.
Mhm.
And I was like, this guy's kind of sketchy. Like I'm not gonna say anything, but like I'm a little sketched out. And my roommate was like, okay, like whatever, like here, just take it. Like and he was really like like mad to the point where it was like, hey, like I'm not having a good time. Like you need to like calm down. And turns out like the guy like was like getting really frustrated with me because my roommate was like not having it.
Mhm.
And he's like, well, you kind of fit the description of someone who took a bunch of computers out of one of the computer labs. And my roommate was like, well, what computer lab was it? Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, well, someone came in and stole a bunch of computers out of the engineering lab or something. And little did this police officer know, my roommate and I were both engineering majors. So my roommate was like, well, that's kind of funny because I'm an engineering major and I didn't hear anything about this. And the cop looked like, oh, dang. And the cop was like, well, it happened and I'm sure they just didn't want to bother you guys with it. But you look like the kind of guy that did this. And he like that really ticked my roommate off. I really thought that my roommate was going to get arrested that night. And he literally told me as we were walking away after the cop left, he was like, honestly, if you
the
weren't,
computers.
what?
I stole the
Oh yeah,
computers.
I was the one that stole the computer. No, he told me once we were done, he was like, honestly, if you weren't here with me, I probably would have gotten arrested because I would have been a jerk. And I
Dang.
was like, well, I mean, he was kind of a jerk, like the cop was, but literally the only 2 times I've ever gotten in like any like confrontation with cops. Like I've never been pulled over, never anything.
Well, and then playing Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I got pulled. I kind of got pulled over playing Pokemon, but maybe.
Yeah, dude. You got anything else? If not, we'll kind of wrap it up. We've been going for a
I
while.
don't think so. That was a
Alright.
good first podcast.
Yeah, yeah. So be looking out for us. Where can they follow you, Chicken?
I mean, just on Twitch or TikTok. I don't know anything. Just follow me on anything.
Yeah, Chick3n3.
Anything. Yeah, it's some variation of that. If you search that, you'll find it. I
Alright.
promise.
And I might even shrimp on like everything. It might be TTV or something like that. But I've been trying to post more on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever. You'll find me. And I will catch you guys next time. All right, peace.
Peace.